Here now is Morgan Wright, cybersecurity analyst and Center for Digital Government senior fellow. We learned some interesting things in the presser this afternoon. Number one, that some people actually paid out. They said they collected about $70,000, but that no one who paid money got any of their data back or anything they had been promised. That money was just down the drain. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me either. I mean, these folks who did this, you don't have to be clever anymore. You just have to have access to a bunch of software and an internet connection, and that's what they did. So the bad part about it is they weren't that sophisticated. That's the good part. The bad part is they weren't that sophisticated, and look at the impact this thing had. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. People may pay out and they may not pay out, but the effect is going to be the same. If you don't have a good backup of your data, if you don't understand that your employees shouldn't be clicking these links, it's going to be irrelevant where you pay it or not. You're going to lose your data.
We also heard a little anger there in the statement about the fact that the NSA, I guess, had discovered this vulnerability. And what was the rest of that from there? Tell me that story.
Well, there is a responsible disclosure program which says, the government says if we find some things like these zero-day exploits where there's no defense against, that they're supposed to disclose it, except for, and then there's a bunch of whereases and therefores about ways around it. On the other hand, it should not come as a shock to these people that our government is stockpiling this. Why? Because as we see by the global map, many of our countries that we have adversarial relationships with or who are targets of the NSA and, these intelligence collection efforts, guess what, are running Microsoft Windows. So it shouldn't come as a shock that we're actually targeting these systems.
So for the average person at home that's watching, Morgan, number one, make sure you install all the updates and all the patches. Don't click on any fishy links and back up your stuff. Did I say it right? What am I missing?
No, you've got it. The first thing to do is, these folks don't put out security updates as a suggestion. They're required, so install them. Second of all is, look, it's up to you, and if you're watching this, don't quit clicking these things. This is how this spread. And Melissa, when they said that they're worried about a second wave, why were they worried about a second wave? Because they're worried about all the people coming in, opening up the email, seeing these phishing and spear phishing attacks, and doing what? Clicking the link and deploying this. So yeah, and then make sure you back up your data. Back it up.
Although, Morgan, the next thing that'll happen is you'll get a link saying it's a patch or a security update. Click on this and install it, and that's actually the virus. How do you avoid that?
Actually, it's one simple little trick, and you can see this on most browsers and emails. Just hover your email or your mouse, the pointer of the mouse, over that link and look to see what it shows up. I can send you a link, Melissa, that says foxbusiness.com and would actually point to, North Korea. I can make it do anything I want. So you got to look past the link and look. When in doubt, type it in yourself. Go to Microsoft.com or Apple.com
and
find the patch and download it from a trusted source.
Okay, that's great advice, Morgan. Thank you for that.
Terrific.